Hi guys, Good Friday Eve. It's Thursday. I'm still off work. What is it now? It's 10 to 2, and I've got awful stomach pains. I've just not been doing anything other than feeling sorry for myself, basically. Oh, just got a text. No, I didn't. Just got an email. Yeah, anyway, I digress. So basically what I'm saying is I'm still off work. I'm not looking very good for the rest of the week, to be quite honest, unless this heals up or clears up overnight, which it's not showing signs of. It's terrible. But never mind. Crosses with her. Yeah, so I'll just check it in. With that, moving on.
Okay guys, it's absolutely freezing. It's not as cold as it is in America right now, I will admit, but it is really cold for Scotland. It's like -4 at the moment, and I am freezing. Now, you'll probably have noticed that Alan's been very quiet the last few days. That is because he has been poorly not well. Boo. Sad. It is sad, properly sad. I know I'm probably being sarcastic about it, but it is sad. He is not well. He doesn't do being not well very well, and yeah, so he's been laid up since Tuesday morning. And he was saying to me, "Do you know what? I don't have enough footage. Can we do something?" And today is January 31st, which means that we are about to embark on February's TBR. So I thought I would show you what February's TBR actually is going to be looking like. Now, for the non-booktubers, book bloggers, book vloggers, basically anybody who isn't anything of those, TBR means to be read. So these are the books that I plan to read over the next month. Alan picked them this month completely at random. I'm not worried at all because he picked them from books I already owned, so I already know I want to read them. So the first book is one that I've actually just picked because I only had 5 and I needed 6. And it is my copy of The Binding by Bridget Collins. It is a brand new book that I got last month. It's a debut novel. It looks like it's going to be fantastically interesting. Basically, the synopsis is, it answers the question, what would you do if you could hide your life from yourself? If everything you ever did, both good and bad, were in a book and you could read it or not. So it sounded really interesting. Waterstones was doing a special where if you pre-ordered it, you got a signed edition. So mine has been signed by the author. It's got really gorgeous purple sprayed edges. I absolutely adore the cover. Really looking forward to reading this. So it's in my TBR for this month. The second book, this is one of the first ones that Alan picked, is a book off of the list of books that I own that I haven't read yet. And that is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I absolutely adore Neil Gaiman in all forms. I've read so many of his books, both in hard print and on audiobook. And I am really looking forward to this. This is the illustrated edition, which has been illustrated by Chris Riddell. So it has got pictures. And I am really, really looking forward to reading it. So looking forward to reading it. And now we come on to the books from the Pop Sugar Challenge prompt. If you don't know what the Pop Sugar Challenge is, it is a list of prompts. And you pick books that fulfill the prompts and you win the challenge by filling all the prompts. There's 40 regular ones and 10 additional, slightly harder prompts for a total of 50 books. So I'm doing all 50 because I'm an overachiever who likes to challenge herself. What can I say? And this month I will be reading The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is for the prompt of a book which is in Own Voices. This is a book that I'm sure almost everybody has heard about. It's really big in the Black Lives Matter movement at the moment. It's supposed to be really quite an uncomfortable read, which is something I'm not so much looking forward to, but I like to be challenged. I like having my perceptions and my thoughts challenged, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Next, we have The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I have attempted to read 2 of Margaret Atwood's books before now with not so much success, but The Handmaid's Tale, everybody, and I mean everybody, was raving about this. It's now a Netflix TV series, or a TV series. I'm not actually sure if it's just on Netflix or if it's everywhere. But everybody's been raving about it. I am reading it for the prompt, a book that has inspired like a meme or like a turn of phrase or things like that, because there have been lots and lots of Handmaid's Tale memes out there since the TV series was released. Yes, I am bending this slightly, but the only other option I would have had would be to use something like George Orwell, which of 1984, where you would do doublethink or something like that. But I wanted to read something I hadn't read before, and this has been in my TBR for a while, so The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Next is The Girl Who Soared Over Fairyland and Cut the Moon in Two by Catherine M. Valenti. This is the 3rd book in the series. I read the first 2 a couple of years back and picked this up in Poundland of all places, and it was hardback, so I'm reading this for the prompt, book with an astrology term in the title, because the moon is an astrological reference. Been in my TBR for 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Really looking forward to seeing how this goes on. There are another 2 or 3 books in this series. They're really good, really funny, middle grade, admittedly. Nice, easy reads, not too much to think about. Absolutely adore them. Can't wait to see what happens next. And lastly, we have another Agatha Christie. I read Death on the Nile last month, and this month I am reading Why Didn't They Ask Evans? For the prompt, a book with a question in the title. Because why didn't they ask Evans is a question. And it's a question that is about the whole book. I know this story, but I love Agatha Christie, and I haven't actually read the novels. The reason I know the premise behind Why Didn't They Ask Evans is because I've watched the Marvel TV series. Love the Marvel TV series. So yes, so the last book we have to pick up is actually an audiobook, and I was on the Page Turners by BuzzFeed book group the other week, and they talked about how you pick out what you're going to read next when you have like choice paralysis. There's too many books and you don't know what you're going to read next. And this was a suggestion they came up with. So inside this jar is every audiobook that I own that I haven't read yet. I've been an Audible member for 6 years. And yeah, so I'm challenging myself to read 1 audiobook a month. So, do you want to pick or will I pick? Alan is going to pick it out because he's picked the rest of the TBR. Go. And my audiobook for this month is going to be Stalking Jack the Ripper, which is by, she says, having a look. Stand by. By James Patterson and Kerry Maninescolo. This is another one that one of my favourite booktubers, Haley in Bookland, she absolutely raved about this whole series. This is the first book in a series of books. There's one about Dracula, and there's one about something else that I've completely forgotten. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I will start that after I finish what I'm currently listening to, which is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, which is I'm using for the book prompt, a book set in a single day, because it is set in a single day. So, like, I love Dan Brown as well. I've read everything he's written. And yeah. So there you have it, guys. That is my February TBR. If you're a reader yourself, let me know in the comments below what you're currently reading, what you think. If you've read any of these and what you think of those, let me know about that too. Or even if you're just doing the Pop Sugar Challenge, what you would have read for the prompt. And that would be it. Moving on.